Hey, what's up, man? It is the Ace Michaels Show. I'm Ace Michaels. Happy to be here with you. Happy to pretty much be anywhere. I know I say that a lot. It's true, though. Like, I am a person who survived a international pandemic. And so all I think about most days when I wake up is like, again? I get another shot at this? Oh, well, shit, let me do something positive then. So that's where I'm at. The other night, I had a unique experience. I watched the James Bond collection. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Like some networks will have like on one weekend, usually it's like Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend, like a 3-day weekend. And they'll be like, you can watch all the James Bond movies, like from the very first one to the very last one. They just play them over and over again. So I said, let me try it. I've never experienced it. Let me check it out. So the one I watched last night was Dr. No. And I have to tell you, there was some crazy shit going on in the 50s. Like, it was a whole different world. Like, James Bond could just grab a woman by the hand and be like, come on with me. We're going upstairs and we're going to shag. Let's go. And she'd be like, oh, James, yes, James. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what in the world? Like, you cannot pull this kind of shit nowadays. And then they had like black servants. Like, everywhere James Bond went, there were like black servants. And he was like, Rasmus, run upstairs and grab me my tuxedo. And Rasmus would be like, yes, sir, boss. And it was like, holy shit, what the fuck? So that was my experience watching the James Bond marathon. I wanted to share that with you guys. So listen, today on the show, my guest, she's a singer, songwriter. She's a beautiful girl, very mocha-colored gorgeousness. She could be a James Bond girl if she wanted to, if there was money in it. She's also an actress. So if you guys are casting for the next James Bond, which might be Idris Elba, it might be... shit, anymore you can. It might be Tom Hanks for all we know at this point. But anyway, the next James Bond movie is casting, so, you know, just keep your eye out for Jovan Marie. And welcome to the show, my dear.
Hello.
As I would give you a nice James Bond welcome. Welcome to the show, darling.
007. Really, you know, I didn't know if I could speak when you were talking about I was holding back my oh my goshes.
There's a lot of oh my gosh.
Seriously?
It's
servants.
far out.
Got you, boss.
It's
Yeah,
far-
boss.
Oh, yeah, boss.
I'm dog tired, boss.
Mr. Boss, is it okay if I go get the bullets for the gun?
Oh, no.
And Bond is like,
Yeah, we're going to have to
"Yes,
boycott that.
Rothschild, do most expeditiously get my bullets for my gun.
Oh,
Yes, while
thanks.
I tweak this woman's nipples over here.
Well, at least he was quite polite.
Oh, he was all over the place. Like, he literally grabbed a woman. Okay, he didn't do it. He had Bartholomew or whoever was the black servant. He had Bartholomew, and he told him to do it. He goes, grab her and bring the camera. And so he literally, the black guy goes over and grabs this beautiful girl. I mean, damn.
Was she white?
No, she was black too.
Okay.
She was from Jamaica. Because, you know, James Bond gets down like, he ain't never got no just a regular hood
always
black girl.
exotic cars, exotic women, exotic
he got
hotels.
He got like a fucking Grace Jones ass, you know what I mean?
Oh my God,
So,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
he has Rothschild go grab this girl and grabs her arm, and he twists the girl's arm behind her back, you know, like this.
Yeah.
Not as sexy as I just did it, but like in that way, you know. And he pulls her over, and then Bond questions her, but Bond doesn't touch her. So, you know, Rothschild is going to get the DV case. So Rothschild is like, tell the man what you want to know. And Bond is like, so you came here with the camera. What are you doing with the camera? What are you taking pictures of? Oh. You know, in his British voice, you know, he's like, what's going on? Okay, Rothschild, get rid of her. But I may want to shag her later. Make sure we get her phone number. And sure enough, you know, he did get kind of physically active with her too. After all the rough stuff.
I know that you probably like to talk about the physical part, but I wonder how many operations, how many bonds we have out there, because I swear that scenario is done over and over again in
Not
society.
Nowadays, though. Like, you
Oh,
can't
in
just
their
go
own
up
little
to a
way.
bar. Like, I'm telling you, Bond was fucking cold-blooded with his shit.
No, it's just like Family Feud and all the game shows where the guys were kissing people on the mouth.
Girls,
It's like, okay, yeah, her husband's like right there. But okay,
He's like, how many years am I on this contract? I'm gonna kiss as many women as I can before I get fired from this job.
Oh, Steve Harvey's definitely
it's a
not doing
different
that.
world. Like, like you used to be able to punish children in school with a paddle. You could actually paddle a kid.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, like, how many sexual predators
Oh, we're doing
were
the
like,
paddling.
Oh, I could get a
Oh.
job as a principal. And
Can
it's
you-
legal. It's
Oh
legal
my
for me to
gosh.
bend a kid over my knee and paddle him or her.
Oh my goodness.
See, that's where the world's different. It's a different world now. We don't get down like that now.
Yeah, I can see why.
Anymore, the thing you got to really worry about in this society is like police shooting you. That's pretty much it. That's
Yeah.
the only people that's gonna like
go over the line.
yeah. You got to worry about the cops, but other than that, back in
Each
the 50s,
other.
you had to worry about everything. You had to worry about your pastor. You had to worry about your next door neighbor. You had to worry about like the bread lady. Like you never knew like what was going on with any of
We
these
stopped
people.
having the milkman, that's for sure.
I know that's a whole other, like really that's a whole nother
Thousands
show.
of households were saved.
The milkman used to come by. Why do you need a milkman to come by your house? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
That's asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
like
thank God
we-
for growth and
We're
progress.
too lazy to go to a store and grab a bottle of milk. We're gonna have a guy drive around in a truck.
No,
in a
that
white
was
suit.
monopoly at its finest. Like literally, you're only getting your milk from us.
Right. Right. You better look out. You might not be found if you mess around. So Jovan is Jovan, right?
Jovan, yeah, like the way you
Jovan.
say it. It can be Jovan, and it's terrible.
No, that's not right. That's
according to the spelling.
that's
So
American
everyone
shit.
that's listening, don't do that.
American people will just take a liberty with your name when they want to. They don't give a damn. They'll be like,
Yeah.
like, your name's Jose. We're gonna call you George.
Oh no, I get called Jovan because they just thought it would be something special because we're in the western, Southwest. Jovan. I'm like, oh, that really works. Great. Okay.
Where
perfect fit.
Where does your beautiful name originate from?
Do I have a story about my name besides the fact that there's this really old white musk that they sell in
Right.
like
I didn't think about that. I
Walmart.
wish you hadn't brought it up. Yeah, now I got that image. I'm sorry, I can't
So
get
so
that
what
out
I'll
of my
do
head.
is I'll just buy the company and
Gross.
revamp it and make it something great. It has a very neutral smell that is
does.
timeless. It is still its stalks are in good shape. It's been over 50 years, so I'm not mad at longevity.
Never that.
But Jovan means father of Jupiter, young, all kinds of stuff. It's typically a masculine name, but I have a lot of masculine traits, but I'm also very, very feminine.
Oh, see, I would never think that was a mess. My cousin's name is Jovan.
It's a female.
Yeah.
I've never met
You've never met a female Jovan?
I met actually a girl from the Middle East, but she spelled it completely different, and that was last year, and I was shocked because I was like, another female Jovan? It's typically like all the football players, and there's a couple of actors. Jovan's popping up all over the media and
I've
entertainment.
never met a
Yeah.
man named Jovan.
You never
Am
met-
I slipping?
okay.
Is there something going on with me I need to know about?
No, it's just that we were on the opposite sides of meeting people, I guess.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even know how to take that. If a guy was like, yo, dog, I'm Jovan, I'd be like, whoa, really, bro?
Is that who you used to be? No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly. Before which nip and tuck did you become that? Like the cop said, it was my
Okay.
favorite line. The cop says, are you a ma'am? Anyway.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's tough.
So
2023.
Jovan.
Jovan. And then you put the
Jovan.
Marie on it, which is technically all legal.
It is Jovan Marie, right?
Yeah.
That's your stage name.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
have
your
others.
actual name?
It's my actual name,
Jovan Marie?
Jovan Marie.
Are you gonna divulge the last name? Is it like some crazy shit? Like Studapleckage?
No, I wish it was. It's
Catch a plecky
fucked
pecky?
up. It's like one that I had to deal with like a lot of fucking bullies.
Is it a name that like would get you into trouble? Just the name, like your last name's like, how would you blow me or something? And people
No,
are like, well, how would you blow me?
No, but it was turned into a quite sexualized thing. And
Oh, it does have. See, sex is. That's
yeah,
what I'm
and I
saying.
was just like, I don't know why. That's a little reach.
Okay, so now
reaching.
I can't sleep unless I know what it is.
Handy.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's cute, but it can go any way. It can go either
It doesn't
way.
go with the rest of your name, but it's
No,
not, it's not bad.
because I'm
I mean,
supposed to be
Handy's-
married. I'm supposed to be married off.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
kind
supposed
of.
to keep my.
It does kind of have a handmaids type of vibe to it, though. Like
Yeah.
Javon Marie Handy.
It just
sounds
takes
like.
it off. It
Yeah,
falls off, right?
Yeah, it's like
It's like
anything
she's
that
got to
was-
get married.
Yeah, anything that was exotic about it was kind of gone.
Yeah, it
now.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get it. It's definitely
So.
domestic now. Would you mind sweeping the floor, Javon? When you're done, would
Yeah.
you mind, Miss Handy, just
Right.
tidying up the little?
takes me
yes.
down.
I could see you with James Bond with that name though. That's a cool James Bond girl name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because James Bond's girls, they always had those names like Pussy Galore and
Oh.
Honey Go Fetch It. Like they had these.
Speaking
cool
of
names.
honey, so I dibbled and dabbled with the name Honey for an alter ego because I'm exploring rapping, which I haven't really full-fledged released to the public. But it was going to be some sort of an alter ego in Honey. You know, she honey's after the money. Honey's still sweet.
Yeah.
But she's like really thick and she sticks pretty hard on you.
Yeah.
Jovan is a little more princess, ballad, sweet American black girl.
My brain is not processing Honey for you. I mean, you look like Honey. You're a very sexy, hot girl,
Thank you.
but not Honey. That's come on.
I
That's-
just- it
that's
kinda-
too
yeah.
pretentious. Like Honey.
Oh yeah, like
come on, you're gonna
could
be,
be on
Honey.
a
You might as well be
pole or-
called Star.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what
I
I'm saying?
wouldn't.
You're
I
gonna be
wouldn't
Honey.
do that.
You might as well be. Come on. I like Jovan.
Jovan, that's me.
Jovan
That's
is-
why
that's dope.
I fuck with it.
That's like a action hero name,
Oh yeah,
like a new Avenger. Like, look,
I
out, she's
definitely can play
Javon
that.
Marie. And then they throw that handy on it, and you realize she has no powers.
No, because we're just not going to mention my entire government name.
No. All right, so let's talk about your music because that's what we're here to talk about. So
That
you
would be good.
write and you produce music too, don't you? do a
I'd
little
like to
bit.
say production because a lot of artists take themselves out of being a part of the production. I think you're part of the production when you can make something happen from scratch. I mean, I'm coming into the studio a lot of times just hearing the instrumentation, doing every single thing else, you know, and then manipulating how the track will sound with what I added. So, yes, arranging, my own creative director. Of course, when you're doing this in the beginning and you're not, you know, surrounded by a big fancy team and a humongous crazy budget with a label, you're wearing all the hats.
Now, have you been
So-
in that scenario where you were with a label and you?
No,
had a
I
big
haven't
studio?
been signed. I haven't been signed.
That's
I've heard
crazy.
several offers. Right now, there's some ideas out there. But I'm at a point where I'm doing some more self-investment so that I have positioning for negotiation with labels because the atmosphere is really, it's like it's not numbers, but it is numbers, and then it's I want you to have this kind of track, but I want that track to be organic, but there's a shit ton of people who are already in the industry that have fake ass trackings, you know. When I say trackings, I mean like streams and likes and all that kind of social bullshit. And then you have people that are at labels and they're so real and authentic and they're like, no, I want something organic and I want to be behind the growth. So those are the type of people that I'm really attracting right now. I want to manifest those people who look at it as an organic sense because it makes me feel there's longevity in their intention when it comes to working with an artist like me.
Did you ever? I mean, this is just kind of morbid, but did you ever feel like you weren't good enough to make it in show business? I mean,
Oh yeah, like I haven't. Well, I've had a lot of fits on social media because I know I sing good as fuck, and I no, I mean not just good as fuck, but like you have me. I'm a singer, yes. I sing R&B and pop, yes. But I'm classically trained, and not only am I classically trained, but I do well in that class.
okay.
I was offered Germany. I was offered China. So I'm doing well in different genres and not just, you can't put me in a box.
Right.
So this is a person who studied. Not the fame, not the looks. I don't really know how to do all that really well. But when it comes to the fucking craft, I love music. So yeah, I'm online and I'm complaining to people because I'm just like, I see the people you guys are supporting. They have thousands of views, and I know they sound like shit. I have been trained. I know the professionals. I can get someone that is a professional to back me up. What the fuck is this society all about?
Wow.
But I'm at a point in my life where that's not doing anything for me. Yes, I know it. Yes, other people know it, but that's not the name of the game. And the name of the game is the business. It's the music business. It's not just the music. And I'm learning that in the business, you do it how you want to. In 2023, with all the technology, you really can make your own way. I mean, I don't mean to offend anyone, but we got guys transferring to girls and girls transferring to guys. Why would I need to stay in any type of a box to do what I want to do? I'm not doing it. I'm empowered by all the things that people have taken themselves out of the box in.
So when you look at it that way, and it's a good way to look at it, I think, but when you look at it that way, what are the challenges for you personally as an artist? I mean, if you know that you have your own sound, you know that you have your own direction, you know that the music industry has changed so much and that there really aren't a lot of people who are on the same page anymore. A lot of A&R people that I knew 10, 15 years ago, they're now selling used cars or they're selling real estate.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They used to be like the top executive entertainment
Isn't
professional,
that funny?
and now they're like a fucking guru on like life coaching. But
Let's see.
what does that mean for you though when you realize that you're ahead of the curve, you're in your own zone, not everybody's going to get your zone, not everybody's going to be willing to travel on your lane? What does that mean for you as an artist?
It means what it always has been. This is like I mentioned earlier on, I think a poster. I was talking to a friend. Choosing the life to be an artist. I'm a smart girl, so I really could have gotten into any field and done well. Mm-hmm. But I decided to take this road of love, this road of passion. And I already have experienced that anytime you follow the hardest thing in life, no matter what it is for you, this is what it is for me because I have a gift. I'm constantly having to put my mindset in a place where your intention is the love of it. And anytime you have a love for something, it's not so conditional. So I'm not supposed to be putting those thoughts in my mind. The thoughts in my mind are supposed to be hopeful. So many years, I felt like I needed to chase someone else in order for myself to be validated. But I have the gift. It's inside of me. Literally, I am the gift. I'm the star before the stardom. And as long as I'm humble and I'm operating with love and passion, I work hard, I already am satisfied as if I already have it. And then I remove myself from the anxiety because I let the energy live in me, and I'm doing it with transparency so that people are attracted to me instead of me chasing them.
Now, let me ask you this. This is a popular question, but it's come up again and again, time and time again. I just recently left a partner that really didn't understand why I needed to do music or what my music lifestyle would bring to our relationship. And it was a big problem. And I thought I was mature enough to have left those types of problems behind me years ago. So I was really surprised that, like, you know what? Here I am justifying again why I'm doing this and why this is passion to me and why I'm committed to this, to a person that's supposed to be a love relationship, love unconditionally person is asking me what do I want to do with my life. So how does that part work? How do you manage the balance between what you love and what other people think you're supposed to do with your life?
Okay, and you're saying this not just on a fan base looking inside as an artist, but my personal life.
I'm saying, I mean, like for me, it threw me.
You mentioned your relationship. Well,
yeah.
Okay, so for me, I guess it's this kind of fantasized sensation to have a singing girl. So it's a part of like turning on a fantasy. So it's like almost automatically received very, very well. But then when it comes to maybe the business and being really social and having, like, for instance, on my Instagram, if I like occasionally show a little bit of skin, a little sexy, it's almost like, oh, okay, you're for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, okay, the DMs are flooding and blah, blah, blah. And so yeah, it's like, but anyone close to me knows that I'm quite conservative, and I have a very strong mindset. I really look into the values. So sometimes I throw people off. Like when they see my Instagram and they meet me in person, they're like, wow, like this is good, but this is like better, or can you show me this online? And yeah, or, just a little mix up. So, it's something you always work on to be more transparent on these platforms as best you can.
And so you don't find people who want to date you who feel like, oh, you're trying to be too extra. You're trying to be a star.
No,
I
my
don't want a
recent
star. I just want to.
my recent relationship was actually my manager, and he was actually encouraging me to show a little bit more skin, because I would post something where I was like in a bikini, or I had just like the skin, or it was sexy, and then I would it would be up there for a couple of days, and then my mind would just be like, oh, take it down, take it down, take it down, take it down. Oh my gosh, you're not a Christian, you're not this, you're not good, you're not that, and you're gonna be just like all these other whores, just teaching everybody stupid shit, and why can't you be different? Like all these I'm a Cancer, so I have hella different thoughts that could shoot out in like less than 60 seconds.
You're gonna be like all these other whores. I love it.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, but those are the voices, in your head, and they just come out. They're all different types of personalities, at least for me. And then he's just like, you don't have to do that, giving me the kind of cliche, you're gonna get older and you can't do it, so use it while you got it. That kind of thing.
But this is the thing. It's always been a question to me, because I'm never gonna have somebody say to me as a man. I'm never gonna have somebody
use
say
it while
me,
you.
Listen,
What?
roll your pant leg up and show off that fucking calf, brother. Come on, you got a little hair.
Right,
on that calf.
so
be proud of it.
Right.
You know.
So yeah, and I guess if you mention that, you're gonna say that I should be able to get through life without having to
Well, what does that
use
mean?
that.
Like, what does that mean to you as a woman? Like, does that devalue you as a woman? Like, to me, I've always said this on the show. I've been doing the show for 10 years. I've always said this: women have boundaries they get to set. Like, to me, a woman gets to say, I think I'm going to undo one more button and go get this job interview. And that's fine. If they want to, they can.
Wow.
But a guy can't just be like, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and go full honcho on this photo shoot. Yeah, I'm going to go full honcho. Just this one. So, I mean, does that devalue you? Because women are sex objects. People look at women and so sexy, or not sexy enough, or be sexier. Everything is about sex.
I think that men and women, from the beginning and to the end, are always equally as sexy. I think society has placed it to be on the woman. I think that because a lot more women, we do have, because of our fertility, I think the energy gives off what sexuality is more, because we have these extra parts to make life happen. So the energy around that reproductive organ and sense of the capabilities that we can do gives us that heightened sense of sexuality. But it has nothing to do with the anatomy, because I look at a man just as sexy as a woman. Like, I know plenty of women. We see that it's coming out more and more, these male strip clubs, and we have this show The Queensmen, which I absolutely love, by Christian Keys. And it's like, women have those same hypersexual desires. They always have. Like, I got girlfriends, so I seen the ones that are like, oh, your sex drive is like at a fucking 3, and then my other friend is like over the Richter, like the same kind of sex drive. The guy that I fucking broke up with, it broke my heart. It's like, yeah, you guys are the same person. And so I think society really, really fucked us up with lies and confused us. And that's why we have hard times interacting with each other. That's why girls have this sense of guilt behind doing the same things as men and blah, blah, blah. And then guys kind of control the narrative behind sex. Because it was just terribly structured. So I don't think men, I think nowadays, like, men use it maybe more in the homosexual group of people that we have, where they will be a little bit more playful, because they tend to tap into their feminine or they're, what they think is socially feminine. Like, I'm going to do feminine things, so I'm going to go a little sexier on my boss, as opposed to maybe a heterosexual man.
But to me, it's always been, and time is never our friend on the show because we're going to run out of time in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And which sucks.
We're going to talk about music.
Now I'm fired up about this.
I know.
But okay, so like if you take, for example, Doja Cat. Doja's a beautiful, beautiful woman. In my opinion, she's a little thick sometimes.
Okay.
Megan Stallion, another beautiful woman. My opinion, a little thick sometimes. Mary J.
You're going to get me in trouble.
Beautiful woman. A little thick sometimes.
Do you follow me on social media?
but all of these women are beautiful.
Yes.
But they'll come out in a bathing suit and they got a little extra going on. But for women, it's okay.
I did not get to that point when I was mentioning that last section. When I said it's easier for a woman to have that, push off that little sexual.
Because Sam Smith does not look good in a bathing suit like that.
No, but he probably
Sam.
did when he first came out. I don't know what's happening to him. But, but nevertheless, there's probably a lot more men in general that don't feel comfortable with their bodies, and they're competing against these alpha guys that are all muscle, blah, blah, blah. So more women, for some reason, because we have been sexualized for so long, we kind of like, are more willing to be, present ourselves more, because we are structured and positioned and formatted to be the presenter of attraction as opposed to the male.
Yeah.
But I don't live my life like that.
Yeah, and think about this, and I hope you'll come back and do the show again. We'll have to talk about music more.
I know.
But, like let's go all Games of Thrones with it. Like there was a time when a woman was basically about as much as a cow. Like, do you want the cow or would you like my daughter? Because my daughter can have kids. She can nurse kids. She can clean the house. She's more valuable than a cow. And the guy still might say, well, let me look at that cow real quick, though.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time when women were literally currency.
Well, it's because they were treated like currency, because at the time, you got to think about, before we developed all these industries, before we had all these complex systems, there were no complex systems. There were ideas that were only limited to the elite. So everyone else was pretty much a slave in a sense themselves. So when they developed thoughts around how life should be, it was not expanded. So it wasn't that they really in their spirits felt like, oh, she's a fucking piece of property, like a cow. It was more, I'm in such survival mode. I have to know how much it costs to maintain a wife and how much it costs to maintain a fucking cow. No, seriously, like they were so dumbed down to like the last fucking straw of what you would think of. We have so many different luxuries and things that we built up, and we've evolved so much. We have so much more space to think about different possibilities, even the average fucking Joe. You don't have to be a part of his lordships or the conquistadorians, or, you don't have to know what was written on the fucking magic book from King James or whatever. I don't know. I'm talking crazy, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, as we evolve, we have these same animalistic needs, but they shift in perspective, which changes society.
And that brings the conversation full circle.
My music is on all platforms.
Yes.
I'm currently performing at the Virgin Hotel on Wednesdays from 8 to 12.
Nice.
You can catch me there. I am also at the Cork and Thorn on Friday. And if you keep up with my Instagram page, which is number 4, Jovan Marie, you'll be able to see where I am performing locally. But I actually, Ace, I really appreciate that we didn't talk about music, because I feel like you get to know me, like you get to know my perspectives on real life situations.
Yeah.
And that's really getting to know someone.
Well, we want to do that. And then also I suck as a host because that proves it. But I'm going to close this show on this note. So we were talking about James Bond. And if you do go back and watch some classic James Bond, just remember this from Ace's perspective. It says that there was a time when white men ruled the world. There was a time when a white man could do no wrong, and these movies are made for those guys. As I was watching, there was no equal to James Bond anywhere
In
on either
society.
side of the
Wow.
coast. He was
The great white.
He was the smartest. He was the fastest. He was the most masculine. And there was a time in movies when we would see masculine men. Like even now in our 2023, we don't see Iron Man the same way we see James Bond. James Bond, the new James Bond, Daniel Craig James Bond, is a pussy.
I really got to go back
Sean
and look
Connery,
at this.
Roger Moore,
Oh, yeah.
Pierce Brosnan.
Whoa.
Those guys were men
A man's
compared
man.
to these guys.
Okay,
today.
before you lock out, what do you feel is a man? Like, name 5 things, features, things
Well,
to stand for, sayings, whatever.
It's a great question. So I've had this put to me before, and here's the thing: we as men, we don't really get to define ourselves so much as we're told what we're supposed to be. From the very beginning, like I have 2 boys, and I found myself saying things to my boys like, stand up straight, don't cry, don't this, don't, that's too effeminate. What is wrong with you? You're a man, be a man. And there's this whole thing, and it was said to me time and time again, be a man means what exactly?
Right.
Be a man. That
Exactly.
means be what? Be harder? Do I need to be harder? If I'm a
Smile.
man?
I mean, don't smile too hard, but
Yeah,
smile
do I
a
need to be
little.
more sympathetic, less sympathetic. But basically, it boils down to, as a boy in this life, you're given this basically one option: is nobody cares about you. The day will come when nobody will help you. You got to figure it out. That's
Just
boy 101.
teaching isolation,
Yeah,
abandonment.
you need to learn. My mom used to say to me, one of these days you're going to be an adult and you're going to have to make these decisions on your own. And I was like, well, that's kind of harsh, Mom. I mean, I can never come back home and get a little. No, you're
Wow.
a man. You're going to be a man. And even if I called my mom right now with a problem, first thing out of her mouth, she'd say, you a grown ass man.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. And that's how
Wow.
life is for a man.
So it's a double-edged sword, yeah? You get incredible character
People don't
from
expect
it.
you to break down. Unless
Yeah.
you're a gay man, people do not expect you to break down.
I
You're a
don't like
man.
that. I don't like that. I really, really, I have a daughter and I want a son. Of course, he's going to be a black man. And I often think about the guy that's going to make him awesome, because he's literally going to be a mini me of someone that's already out there plus a little twist, So it's like, it's exciting to think about making. I have a daughter, but it's really, really something else to make a man,
Well, and then there's a whole nother thing.
And I will take that to heed, because that's really, really important.
Well, there's
what you just said.
There's a whole nother thing about being a black man. So,
that was just a man.
Yeah, being a man is one thing.
I mean, a
That's
black
a
man
whole
is
nother
like.
story. But no, my son's mom is Jewish, so my boys are half white and half black. And we had a conversation about 6 years ago or more when Trayvon Martin got shot. And my oldest boy, who's now 19, at that time he was, a young teenager. He liked to wear his hoodie. He liked to go walk around. Well, he just happens to live in Florida, where it's the same county as Trayvon did.
No.
Yeah, so they're down in Tampa, Florida area. But anyway, I pulled both of my boys aside and I said, listen, guys, we got to talk about something very serious. I said, there's this word that people are going to use to define you. It doesn't mean that you are this thing. It's just the easiest thing somebody can call you because of your color.
Easiest
they're just
thing.
going to default to this. This is what
Right.
they're going to say, And I said, and it's no different for my little son. My boys are 6 years apart. So at the time, one was 12, one was 6. So I explained to them. I said, imagine if I called you a dinosaur. And that's what I called you.
Yeah.
And of course you're not a dinosaur. But that was the word I used. And every time I saw you, I say, hey, dinosaur, pick that up. And it's a mean thing to call you. But that's what I'm going to call you. Now, that's funny, right? Because you know you're not a dinosaur.
Right.
And so they both laughed and said, of course not. I said, well, this word, it's a powerful word that people are going to use throughout your life because of the color of your skin. They're going to call you this no matter what. You're going to encounter it eventually. So you might as well, get over it. Well, I caught so much hell from their mom.
What?
So
Wait
much
a
hell.
minute. What?
Yeah, oh my God. That was the most hell I ever caught from her. She's like, why did you tell him that word? We never, ever say that word. I said, because it's reality. In your state, cops are killing young black men that are wearing hoodies walking down the street.
I'm so
He needs
curious.
to know.
I feel like she may have had a point that's a little harder to understand because it's from her perspective.
Right.
But wow, that's a
But
that's
as
a
a
tough
black
place
man,
to
I
be
felt
in.
it was my
Yeah.
duty to talk. If I did nothing
I
else,
think you did
good.
right. You did right.
It was my duty to explain to my
And
young
the
black
dinosaur's
kids that,
cute.
yeah,
The dinosaur.
But that word probably started from something cute. We don't know because we don't know where it really originated. We have no idea.
It could have.
But that word has now become synonymous with you being lazy and with you being slovenly
Yeah.
and you being not desirable.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to say, "Oh, Mom, guess what? I'm marrying an N-word." Nobody's going to come home and
Yeah,
say
I almost
that.
said it on the mic. I almost gave my little bit of a shout out. Yeah, that's insane. But
is
yeah,
insane.
wow, that was the cutest story with the dinosaur.
It was the way I did it.
I think it was necessary, but I'm very curious to see what it is that she felt, because she's a mother, not really fully understanding the experience of a black person, a black human, and she has these biracial children who I always tell mixed people, please be both.
Right.
Stop choosing because
Right.
you literally don't have a choice.
No.
Like you
And-
literally aren't a choice. You are the epitome.
And since we're on it, and I'm going to say this last thing in her defense, kind of, but
Yeah.
she's my ex, so she doesn't get too much defense. But she got enough defense, believe me.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But anyway, so she did say something to me one time when I met her. She was a college girl, and she was all about not liking the white man, which blew my mind. 'Cause
Get
she's
outta
white.
here.
Yeah, she was going to like a Jewish university in LA. So
the
she
Jews
was always
I
like,
said the Jews.
no, the white
They're
man
down.
this and the white man that. And I was like, wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So after we dated and we had our 2 kids and we, life went on 20 years later, she remarried a white man. And then the guys that she dates now are white guys. So one day I was over and I said, so how come you don't date black guys anymore? Like, it's so different because I've known you for 20 years. So it's not like I'm
only do
prying
that,
into your
yeah.
business. Like, I know you intimately.
Yeah, I just want to know
okay?
what changed.
So what's your deal? Like, I've seen a baby come out of you. Like, what's up? And she's like, she goes, I love dating you. She goes, but the thing is, everywhere we went, people would look at me strange. It was like I had to be making some kind of extra statement that I wasn't trying to make. Like, people just felt like, oh, you're with this black guy in our drugstore.
it's like a
you
cloud
must be
over her
trying
head.
to say something about dating black men. You must be some type of revolutionary.
Oh
or
wow!
some
Oh,
type
it's
of,
that's really deep,
Yeah.
far-reaching.
And
Okay.
I said, really? She said, yeah. She
can
goes,
exist.
I don't want to have that extra piece. If I'm going to date somebody, like if I date a white guy and we go into Whole Foods, that's all it is. It's just us going into Whole Foods. If I go into Whole Foods with you, even today, people are looking at us like, what is he stealing? What is he doing? Why is he here? Does he know this is Whole Foods? Does he know this is Beverly Hills adjacent? Does he know how we roll? So
Are we being audited
yeah, it's just, is he the
by the
mystery
black
shopper?
by the Black Lives Matter?
And it is what it is. We're out of time. So listen, how do we stalk you on the www? We want to find you. We want to become fans. We want to
I do have a website. It is www.jovan, Jovan, honey, Marie.com.
She put that honey in
Yeah,
there.
we're going to update it. I might even just be a goddamn number. My favorite number is 4. So next year I'll just be absolutely just 4.
James Bond's girl. Watch Dr. No. James Bond's girl's name was Honey last night. I just
Oh my God. We got to,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So where are you going with that? You must know something the rest of us don't.
No, I didn't, but you certainly did bring up Bond a lot.
Well, that's
But-
the thing. That means we're out of time. So listen, guys.
Yeah, I got him in the beginning. Yeah.
Watch the show. Follow Jovan. Go see her sing. I've seen her sing. She's delightful on stage. That's the word I'm using. She's delightful.
Delectable.
Make sure you see her on stage. And you know what I say at the end of every show, man? I still mean it to this very day. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.